What's good, what's good, everybody? It's Maymoney back again for another video. This time we're talking about The 100. I just got done watching The 100 season 4 all over again, and I'm really excited to finally talk about it. The Comic-Con panel all went through. We got a sizzle reel that has already happened, so we can talk a little bit about that good stuff. Man, so I'm actually pretty excited to talk about The 100 season 4. I finally was able to rewatch it. So I think we should just go right on ahead and get into it. Otherwise, this video will take forever. So just so you guys know, I'm sorry about the really annoying, first of all, dog barking. My neighbor's dog is barking, and my shakiness of my camera usually is not shaky at all because I posted up somewhere, but the lighting in my room right now is really kind of off. It's a different time of the year right now. And I guess just the lighting in my room, I didn't think about it. Usually I do my videos around this time, but I guess the sun's going around, and so it just like was really dark where I usually post, like with my Walking Dead poster in the back. Today I guess we have the Joker in the back, and I'm using a selfie stick that my mom confiscated from her school. She works at a middle school, or somebody lost or left and she just gave it to me. So I'm just posting this. I have it like on my knee. I'm trying to keep it as steady as possible for you. So besides that, let's talk about The 100. My overall thoughts of season 4. First of all, just emotional. It just killed me. All of my emotions. Like, I'm so into these characters now, and I'm really invested in them. So any little thing that happens to them, it just like chokes me up. It was really thought-provoking. I really liked how, like, a lot of the things that, like, they were just, all of our characters were put in like very interesting, intense situations. So that just made it so much more, so much better of a season because there were a lot of decisions that had to be made. Everybody wasn't going to make it. Everybody knew that. Some people were feeling, different ways. Like, the show presented ways that different characters reacted to Prime Fire and the End of Days. So I thought that that was really cool. We got to see a whole bunch of different like perspectives of how people would behave in that type of situation. So that's why this show is always great. It seemed pretty hopeless the entire time, but they just like didn't give up, which was really nice to see. And there were a lot of surprising moments and shocking moments, emotional moments. The acting was great. The actors in this show are just amazing, by the way. So that's always great. And yeah, so I mean, I really loved season 4, especially by the end of it and the way that it ended and what it kind of left us stuff like off on for season 5. Just like, I'm really excited about that. But we'll talk about the end of things a little bit later. So let's just go do like a little brief recap of what happened this season. So we'll start character by character and then we'll go more deeper. No, we'll start like with the overview. That won't really like be character specific, and then we'll do like character by character. I wrote down the list of characters that I wanted to talk about. Excuse the Joker in the back. He's friendly for the most part. But yeah, so let's just start with like the first couple of episodes. We had the actor effects of it just starts right off, like when Clark shuts down Allie, like straight up right off of that. They walk outside. The after effects of the whole City of Light drama is still like being cleaned up. People are really fucked up after that shit. And just Polis and everybody is just devastated. It's just not looking good. We have a lot of tension between the Grounders and Sky Crew because the Grounders are, of course, blaming Sky Crew for bringing, the whole City of Light drama into Polis and into, like, their communities. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of controversy in there. We see Echo kind of, like, taking over shit at the first episode we have Bellamy and Clark basically trying to put shit together, help people out, but also they know that there's an impending doom coming around. Like, just because City of Lights over don't mean that everything's peachy right now. So we have that. Rowan is like reawakened, and he kind of takes control over to keep order in Polis and between all the clans. So he kind of just takes that leadership role or whatever. Triku and Asgeda still got beef. The next episode we have Ilian, who's introduced, who really an important character. Like, I didn't realize how important he would be. You guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so if you don't know, well, you should if you're watching this video. But Ilian was introduced episode 2, and it shows, like, it opens up the episode with him under the influence of Ali and the chip, and he just, like, kills his whole family. Clark shuts down the City of Light, and he comes back too, like, right after he just, like, slits his brother's throat and shit, and it's just really, really awful to see, and you just really feel for that character. Like, especially the rewatch, I was just like, whoa, this is, like, you just feel terrible for him, and just that moment, it's really crazy, especially after everything they go through and how it ends up for him. And he just goes on this whole, like, vengeance to go, like, destroy tech, because he's trying to get payback for everything that happened in the City of Light and what he did to his family. We have in Arcadia is trying to be rebuilt. Clark and Bellamy, well, mostly Clark, it's like keeping a secret from all the people, not letting people know, trying to avoid chaos. In Arcadia, not to freak people out, she's just trying to get the arc rebuilt for everybody. But she doesn't tell everybody about Prime Fire and, like, why they're rebuilding, like, so urgently. Jaha's trying to redeem himself, trying to help find solutions for Prime Fire, because he kind of, like, finds out about it. He kind of, like, suspects. He also knows a lot about, like, he sees a lot of himself in Clark, so he just knew already. We have Bellamy and Clark working closely together to lead Arcadians, and they just go through a lot of, like, trial and error situations, like with the getting hydrazine, and then Bellamy chooses to save, like, the farm station people that were being held captive in that little area. Clark then is, because of their lack of hydrogen, has to make a list of 100 people that will be able to survive, because now they don't have enough hydrazine for everybody to survive. Only 100 could survive, so she makes a list, still keeping secrets from her people. And that's when the whole God complex kind of, like, theme comes into play, because Clark is, like, deciding who gets to live or die. And then she's finally exposed for her secrets, but everybody comes to an agreement that they're going to try their best to get everything fixed, and so that they can figure that out after. And it just kind of shows, like, how they have a lot of leaders, like, keeping secrets to try to prevent chaos amongst their people, and war, and just more death, and just, like, chaos, basically. So that was a theme that has been presented a lot, especially in season 4, and especially in the first half. Then we have, like, kind of like my part 2. So we have Octavia really starting to develop her character, especially when she falls off the cliff. But she's just exploring her darkness, because Lincoln actually, I mean, it hasn't really been that long since Lincoln has been dead. Now that we, like, think about the timeline between seasons, like, 2 and 3. No, season 3 and 4 are, like, really close together. Like, there's not that much time between, like, all the events that happen. So Lincoln's death is still pretty fresh, even though it feels like forever for us. But, like, she's, like, going around assassinating people, trying to help Rowan, like, keep the fact that first of all, they don't have the chip anymore. Secondly, everybody's gonna die, and so they're just trying to, like, keep that peace and keep that on the low. Something happens. Rowan, like, gets suspicious of, like, Clark, and so he marches to war to go attack Arcadia and pretty much take the Ark for themselves. And then Octavia's character really comes into play, because she's able to warn Arcadia about Asgeda coming. Then we have Bellamy, who's captured, and Kane, and then he, like, believes that Octavia is dead in that one episode, which I really don't like thinking about that episode. And then, oh yeah, so Octavia's cool. Ilian helps her out, and after the whole beef happens, you guys know, but like then he destroys the entire arc basically. So yeah, that happened. That was like one of the craziest parts to me. I was just like, I was so shocked that they destroyed the entire arc after all that drama that we went through. I think that was episode 5 or 6. Somewhere around there. I think it was like 5 or 6 that he burned down the freaking arc, and I was just like completely taken aback by that. Octavia leaves. Oh, so we have like a really intense moment where Octavia decides whether or not she's going to execute Ilian in the same spot that Lincoln was killed. That was a really emotional moment. She doesn't pull the trigger. They end up together in the Black Rain in the cave, and he's able to kind of pull her out of her darkness a little bit, at least a little bit. Then we have Luna, who comes in to play. Her whole clan has been wiped out by the radiation. And they figure out basically through Luna that she has like some type of immunity because of her blood that she has, because she has night blood. So Abby, Murphy, and a little crew go out with Rowan and Clark eventually to start seeing about the night blood solution if everybody can get some night blood. Oh, and Raven. Then we have Raven having complications with her health. Luna's experiments are going kind of a little crazy. They're like extracting a lot of bone marrow and blood from her. Jasper is another character that we have to mention. He is like one of those characters that doesn't really, he just receives this whole situation differently from everybody else. He's just like, let's live our lives until the end of days. Like, what is the point of like all this crazy trying to scurry around and survive? Like, he wants to enjoy the time that he has left, and he doesn't really want to live anymore. So that's like another perspective of the end of days that is really, really realistic. And he just kind of does whatever the hell he wants. Monty is there trying to convince him not to do that. Bellamy, meanwhile, is trying to redeem himself. So he has a lot of moments where he's talking with Kane and trying to just help people out. But he's still like holding on to a lot of the guilt that he has with his decisions that he's made previously. And he finally is able to admit to himself that you can't save everybody, especially if they don't want to be saved. So that Bellamy's character is super thoughtful. Anyway, we'll talk about him a little later. Then we have the night blood testing starting to get real dark because Amori like lies to get herself out of the chamber with that dude, and then they like start killing people to see if the night blood's gonna work. Then everybody starts to fight about it, and then eventually that just kind of goes by the wayside after Clark injects herself with the night blood. And so that just kind of hits a dead end after she does that because Abby destroys the thing. Then they all go back to Polis, where Gaia is, and Clark is trying to keep the peace. So she tries to ascend, and Rowan's really offended by that because he says that she's making a mockery of their faith and everything, and that she hasn't even won a conclave. So they agree to have a conclave between all the clans to see who gets this bunker. Oh yeah, the bunker was found. I forgot to mention that. 1,200 people get to live inside the bunker that Jaha and Monty find. One thing about that, Sky Crew's only one that knows how to run the bunker, so we definitely know that Sky Crew needs to be in there. So they do a whole conclave. Octavia comes out and offers herself to be the warrior for Sky Crew. Then there's a whole like battle royale in Polis. A lot of people die. Luna, Rowan, and Ilian included. Octavia comes out victorious, and then Clark takes the bunker, and then they get back inside the bunker after her and Bellamy get into a little squabble about that, but we all know that she wasn't going to shoot Bellamy. And then, so we're almost done with the recap, and then we'll start talking about the characters, and then we'll be done. All right, so yeah, after that, we have to decide who gets to be in the bunker. We finally decide after Octavia is very adamant about the fact that Sky Crew, all of you guys are going to die if you don't decide who's going to live inside the bunker. Then, so Octavia is the rightful commander. Radiation levels are rising. Jasper is at his end. He poisons himself and everybody else poisons himself or dies from radiation poisoning. Either or. Monty's devastated. They go try to get to the bunker. Bellamy and Clark rescue Raven, but that doesn't really work out. So they all end up going to space, basically. Or trying to go to space. That don't even work out neither. And then, well, it does, but not for Clark. Clark gets left behind. You guys know how it ended. And yes, so. Oh, and let me not mention that Clark and Bellamy kind of do get a nice moment where they get to, like, really express their friendship and kind of talk about their friendship a lot during this season, but especially in the last episode. Raven sets up a spaceship, and yeah, they go up to space, and 5 years pass. Bellamy thinks Clark is dead, and Clark survived and finds a child with Nightblood, and a prisoner ship comes down. So that's what happened in season 4 of The 100. That was a nice little recap. So I think I want to start off the character discussion part of this overview for season 4 of The 100 with Raven. Because Raven, first of all, I love her character, and she, she just has it so rough. So she starts off, trying to help out with the whole ARC situation. She's just being very practical, and she's just leading this whole thing, but she can't really do much because Clark won't tell everybody. But when they finally all learn about what's going on, the ARC gets burned down. And so when they find about the Nightblood shit, she starts having seizures and complications with her health and hallucinations and all this crazy stuff. But she does find a rocket ship. So I really like Raven's character this season because she's just struggling with herself the entire time. And but she's like on super hyper mode Raven, but I really like how by the end of the season, it's like she realizes that she never needed any of that knowledge. Well, it was helpful, but it was really all her that, figured everything out. And I'm just really like proud of Raven, I guess I could say, like just to see her character really pull through for her group and all of that. So that was really cool to see. And I'm really excited to see where her character is in 6 years from now, because that should be very interesting. Like, what has she been doing the entire time? Has she been trying to get them back down to Earth? Has she figured out a way to get in contact or at least be able to hear Clark's radio transmissions? Because I feel like we'll talk about that in a little bit in Bellamy's part. Let's talk about Jasper, because he's a very interesting character. First of all, we all know, if you have seen other reviews like throughout the season that I've done, Jasper's character really confused me and had me like not really sure what they were doing with him the entire time. I wasn't sure if they were gonna like redeem him or like have him go die in like some type of heroic way, trying to help out his friend, or what they were trying to do, or if he was just going to be kind of useless the entire time, like comedic relief. I was confused about him, and it was kind of irritating me, but I was just waiting because I knew they were going to do something with it. But by the time we get to like a little bit towards the second half of the season, we see that he is just opted out and is just kind of partying his way. But at least he kind of left with like kind of aiding Bellamy a little bit and like his struggles with himself and, leaving Monty, unfortunately, but like just telling him that he loves him and everything. It's just really tragic the way that Jasper goes down, and I really am going to miss him. But yeah, that poor character, throughout everything that he's gone through, I can kind of understand why he chose the choice that he did and why he wanted it to be over, because ever since he landed on the ground, he got speared. So I could see somebody like that in those situations being over it. So yeah, that was just a really tragic thing. But I really liked his role. Like after everything was said and done, his role made a lot more sense to me than when I was watching it episode by episode, if you guys understand what I'm saying. We have Murphy, who, kind of turns a new leaf a little bit, has a little redeeming moments with some characters like Raven, and just showing like that he really does care about people and he really isn't selfish. Like he gives that medicine, he steals the medicine for that one girl, even though it didn't work. At least, you could see that he had some feelings about that because of what happened with him on the arc with his parents and him being sick. So that was really cool. And then he kind of turns a new leaf and starts thinking about other people and surviving with others instead of just saving his own ass, which I really like about his character. So that's another character that I'm excited to see in 6 years after everything. We have Echo and Rowan. I really loved Rowan, and so I'm really sad that he's gone. He was just such a practical, like, really, he was a good leader, and like he, you were able to talk to him, like, out of all the other grounder villages and people, like, he was actually reasonable, and you could actually like make an agreement with him, and he was trying to help, but he wasn't gonna just take anybody's shit. Like, sometimes Clark, he had to be there for his people too, and he couldn't just listen to everything Clark said, and he definitely wasn't gonna like just kind of like offend his culture and everything. I feel like he had enough when Clark tried to ascend to commander position. He didn't trust her anymore after that point, and kind of took matter into his own hands. But it's sad that he's gone. Echo, she's kind of an interesting character. She's definitely very loyal to her. I don't really like her that much, just because everything that she's done in her history. But I think they're going to try to turn her character around for us, especially after a 6 year being in space, grounder. I mean, I'll give it to her. I don't like the bitch, but, she is badass as fuck. So I'll give her that. I'll give her character that. But I am a little bit intrigued to see where she's at in 6 years, I guess. I mean, not my favorite character, but it's a little, like, throwing, like, a wrench in the fucking machine just to see how it works. And, just seeing, like, throwing, like, that random element in just to see what happens kind of thing. So I guess I'm interested in that. Monty, I love Monty's character. He really always steps up. He was the one that found the bunker, first of all. He was kind of, didn't find it, but he was the one that was able to open it. Which I really thought was really cool. I'm glad Monty took that role, even though he didn't even, like, get to live in the bunker. So that was cool. I just love his character, especially since season 3 when he had to, like, kill his mom and everything, which is just really tragic. And losing Jasper, basically dying in his arms. Harper kind of, like, almost leaving him, but didn't. And he just plays a really big role, and I really see him stepping it up even more in season 5. Because, I mean, besides Raven, Jasper is, like, number 2 engineer. Like, if Raven was already out, and he was the one that told Bellamy to switch the breaker before Bellamy ran out of air. And if it hadn't have been for that, they all would have, like, been dead. So Monty's definitely a character that I'm super excited to see where he's at in season 5, because he's one of my favorite characters. I really loved his relationship with Jasper. Now that he's gone, he gets to step into a really nice forefront. Octavia. So she just was, like, awesome season 4. Her character development, has just been skyrocketing since season 1. If you think about her since season 1 to now, it is tremendous. That's why I love this show, because the development of these characters is just realistic and just, like, mind-blowing at how much they've grown. I don't even know what the hell she's doing down there underground. It's been 6 years, and they are trapped under there. So that should be interesting. I wonder who's still alive. I know people die from just random shit in 6 years. And how are they doing? And how are they going to get out? Maybe that mining crew can help them. The one that came down in the ship can help them get out. Are they going to get out? We'll have to see. But her character, I really liked her relationship with Ilian. They kind of were able to pull each other out of, like, the mud that they had been going through. And just her ascension to commander is really cool, and bringing everybody together and really just following, like, what Lincoln taught her. I think she's really doing that. And she's kind of, like, fulfilling everything that Lincoln would have wanted for their people. And so I'm super interested to see where the fuck these underground people and how they're doing, because we know that what's the black dude's name? Not Jaha, but the kid, Miller. What's his first name? I can't fucking remember his first name. Miller and Jackson are down there, Abby, Kane, and Octavia, and that one grounder girl. Indra's down there, and Nyla. So those are some characters that we should be able to see in season 5 that I'm excited for. And then we have Clark, who is stuck on the ground with a child Nightblood. Now, where the fuck did she find? Where was that kid at? Like, I don't understand. They're really gonna have to, like, I feel like they're gonna have to stretch it a little bit, and I'm just gonna have to accept it. But like, I don't see how that kid could have survived that death wave like that. Like, where the fuck was that kid at? Because even Clark, if she hadn't gotten to the bunker, would have been fried. So like, I don't know. They're gonna definitely have some explaining to do on that. What have they been doing this whole time? So we got the sizzle reel, which I loved, you guys. I guess we'll talk about the sizzle reel before I talk about Bellamy. Like that, like, first of all, I watched it like 3 or 4 times, and I cried like the last 3 of the times that I watched it. It was just like so emotional to see what these people have gone through, and oh my god, and just like these characters and how much I love them. The sizzle reel was great. Like, I really liked that. And then we get to see like what Clark, how she really felt about everything that she's gone through, and talking about the people that she was with the entire time, and the people that she lost, and the people that are still, in space and everything, and how she felt about Bellamy. Like, the sizzle reel, like, she really laid it on thick with the Bellamy stuff, with the storytelling. So I like that. I'm really excited to see what happens with this new like prisoner crew that comes down, and also like how the reunion of Clark and Bellamy and the whole group will be. Clark's character, she just like had a hard time making decisions. Like, I mean, by the end, she was just like, everything that she decides to do, people die, and there's nothing she can really do about it. And it's just like hard for her, but she really does like sacrifice herself for her friends because, I guess she feels like they deserve to like still survive, and she wants that for them so much because she really does love all of those people that went to space and the people that are underground as well. So I just like, and she's really willing to do anything. That's why, she was able to survive, because she was willing to die to test herself with the Nightblood. If she hadn't done that, she would have definitely died. So I really liked her development through the thing. Like, she had to learn a lot about leadership, like with keeping secrets, and she did make a lot of mistakes too by, not having faith in Octavia and locking everybody out. And she had Bellamy to kind of like piggyback off of that and like let her know that, you're not making the right decision at this point. She had somebody to kind of like consult with in those moments. That's why she couldn't shoot Bellamy, because she knew that, I'm not always right. And if my number one person that I consult with and that I lead everybody with is telling me that I'm not doing it right, then she needs to listen and switch it up. And I just love their their teamwork that they had in this entire season. It was really, really, really great. And just like so heart touching to see, because of course I like ship Bellark so hard. I'm still feeling it. Even though it's separated for 6 years, like, that reunion is going to be really emotional. So let's talk about my man Bellamy. His character, I mean, of course, he's always feeling real, just like heavy and weighed down with all these like really poor decisions that he made. But that's just what I like about his character, because he's not perfect, and like, but he's trying to help people. He just has a really big heart, and he's really trying his best, and it just doesn't work out sometimes for him. Like, what did Kane say to somebody? Like, even though you're trying to be good, it just like the good parts just don't win, or the good guys just don't win, or something like that. That kind of like says a lot about Bellamy. And I like Bellamy and Kane's relationship during this season too, and as well as Bellamy, Octavia and Kane's relationship as well. He first starts off like, saving those people that were being held by Asgeda, and then we have the moment where he's trying to save the people out of the Black Rain, which was just, I loved that scene. I loved that scene when he was in the car and he was just like, just cursing himself for just like failing to save them. And you could just feel like, wow, like, first of all, Bob pulled that shit off great. So I loved that. And then I really liked like how he was just decided that I can't save everybody if they don't want to, especially if they don't want to be saved. So he kind of like did that with Jasper. He kind of did that with Octavia even. And he also was trying his best to, kind of like reconcile with his sister. He spent the whole season just trying to tell her that, he loved her and that he was always there for her and that he always believed in her. And then finally he got that, because she overheard him telling Rowan that he was lucky to have her and all that stuff. And finally they really were able to like reconcile the relationship, which is great. Like by the end of the season, even though they were on the radio for the last time for 6 years, like they had both told each other that they loved each other. So that was really great. And then of course Clark and Bellamy's relationship is just amazing. I mean, it just broke my heart to see them be separated, especially like when they were talking about like how like Clark was telling him that, they've been through a lot and that Bellamy, like if anything happens to Clark, he needs to take over her role. And he was saying like, I don't have to do that because I have you for that. And that just really says like how much they mean to each other and how much they need each other and how devastated Bellamy was. Like, oh my God, it makes me emotional talking about it. Like that moment where he's in space and he's floating and he's looking down at Earth and he's like, I left her behind and it was for nothing, we die anyway. And you could just tell like he is just torn apart by losing Clark, because that's like his other half. Like, but he was also saying that he's gonna do exactly what she said because her premonition came true or whatever, but he's not gonna fail her and he won't. So that just like touched my heart. Another scene that I really liked with Bellamy, kind of going backwards, was when he found out that his sister could have possibly been dead or was dead. He thought she was dead. That was just heartbreaking. I hate thinking about it. Bob is just an amazing actor, and all of the parts that everything he does is just so emotional. So that's why and he just puts so much emotion into Bellamy's character. That's why he has such a big heart. Like, I don't think anybody could really do or portray this character. I feel like Bob is putting a lot of his own interpretation and his own emotion into Bellamy, and his character Bellamy wouldn't really be anything without Bob, if you guys get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's all I gotta really say about that. I can't wait. So let's talk a little bit about like season 5 predictions. I don't really have any predictions. I don't know what the hell they've been doing for 6 years, so I wouldn't call it that, but we could talk a little bit about it. We have everybody in space. Where are they? What are they doing? Are they trying to come back down? Is Raven trying to find a way for them to get back down? Why haven't they come back down? Have they had any contact with this prisoner? Clark is down on Earth. She's been radioing into Bellamy and Raven every day, mostly Bellamy. Can he hear her? I heard that we're gonna get that's gonna be addressed in season 1, episode 1. That's what the writer said, Jason said. So that's gonna be addressed pretty soon in season 5 or season 5, episode 1. So I'm really excited for that. I guess he can hear her. It sounds like he eventually does hear her on the radio, which is amazing. So maybe that puts a fire under their ass to get back down to Earth or something. That's a scene I'm really excited for, is Bellamy hearing her voice, or maybe he heard her the whole time, or at least half of the time, when she could finally come up and use a radio like that. I would really like some explanation on Clark and Maddie and how long they were able. I just need an explanation on that, because I'm still not 100% there for that. I just don't really understand. I get that she found her, but when did she find her after that death wave? Because it looked pretty vicious, and a little baby should I don't give a fuck how much Nightblood you have, should not be able to survive that type of death wave. So where was this child? And what? I just don't get it. I just don't. That is a little bit too much of a stretch for me. Sorry. And what's going on down underground? What the fuck? Who knows? So, and will they be able to get them out of there? And who's still alive? Who's dead? Like 6 years, people die from natural causes. So we'll have to just see. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that will be all. I cannot wait until we get at least a trailer. I will definitely be talking about a trailer for season 5. I might do a reaction, but like for trailers, like usually I'm at work or like on break, and then I see that the trailer was released and I can't even wait. So I'll just like watch it at work and like can't really do a reaction video to it. But I will probably do like a discussion video of the trailer that is released eventually. And yeah, so we also have there's like some really good panels for Comic-Con and like interviews that are really good. The season, the 100 cast, they talk over a lot of each other a lot. So in some of the interviews, you can't really hear what anybody is saying. But yeah, watch some of those. Watch the sizzle reel. Those are really great things if you're missing all the characters. Watch season 4 again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So it is like August, no, it's June like 27th or 8th right now. August is coming up. I think they're going to start filming again or start working on filming again in August for the 100. Walking Dead just came out with their trailer. That's coming back in October, really close to my birthday. So that I'm going to talk about the trailer for Walking Dead as well really soon. When I get some time, I'll let you guys know when that's happening. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's hella long. Whatever. Ugh, I miss the 100 so much. I miss you guys so much. I haven't had much to do. But yes, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of season 4. Let me know your favorite parts. Let me know how you felt about what I had to, what I said. If you have any questions for me, I'll answer them. Let me know what you guys think's gonna happen in season 5. So yes, I will miss you guys until then. I guess like February or March or something like that. But yes, thanks so much. Like, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. I cannot wait to see you guys again. Peace.